So what are we doing this video today?
Oh, I heard it's about buying insurance and claims experience.
I think we have a lot to share to the audience.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Choo Pheck. I'm an Associate Wealth Advisory Director with Financial Alliance. I'm with the company since 2020 and I'm with the financial industry since 2005. I help my clients to plan their financial needs based on their current situation to reduce their financial risks that may arise in the future. This is to ensure that they continue to enjoy their current and future lifestyle.
Hi everyone, my name is Eileen. I am a Senior Financial Advisory Manager with Financial Alliance. So I've been here for over the last 3 years and in the financial advisory industry since 2008. So over the last 10 over years, I have been helping many busy clients, getting them started on their financial planning journey and also guiding them through their different stages in life. So Choo Pheck, how did you get started in this industry?
Okay. It actually started in 2001 when my mom diagnosed with kidney cancer, and because we do not have medical insurance, so my mother decided not to seek treatment. And 2 years later, she died of kidney failure. Okay, and I was in a zombie state for a year. Then a friend came to share with me that I could be a financial advisor so that I could help people who are in my situation to ensure that they don't fall into a category whereby they don't have money to seek treatment and then they just pass on. So I joined the financial industry in 2005 and has been sharing my mother's story to let them know that it is important to do financial planning, especially to get medical insurance. Yeah. How about you, Eileen?
Oh, for me, my first exposure to financial advisory was back when I was an undergraduate in university. So I was doing a telemarketing role in an insurance company. Honestly, it was because I needed money and then I did a vacation job lah. And honestly, back then, my idea of the whole industry was that it was all about earning money, profit making. But during my role, I realized that actually it's even more meaningful than that because we could actually work with many different people from different walks of life and actually get them to start good financial habits, like getting them started on savings, protecting their wealth. Yeah, so actually without people in this role, many people finances could run into crisis. Yeah, so this actually reconciled very well with me and my internal core values because I really wanted to do something that's impactful and have a direct impact on someone's life. So after that, when I was in uni, I started taking on more wealth management courses. When I graduated, I thought, okay I go back to the insurance companies or banks to look for a similar role. But I chanced upon independent financial advisory industry. Yeah, then I realized, then I could do even more comprehensive financial planning. So I grabbed hold of that opportunity and came on lah. So Choo Pheck, what was the most memorable experience that you had in your career?
I remember a few years back, right? A client suddenly lost a lot of weight. Okay, and it was so bad that his sister-in-law actually called me to ask me to persuade this client to go to the hospital. Okay, so when the client finally called me, right, I realized that she hasn't been able to eat well because she seems to lose the muscle to swallow. And she also has difficulty going to the toilet. Yeah, so eventually she went to the hospital, right? After several rounds of tests run by the hospital, we realized that she actually suffered from this condition where her own immune system attacked her muscle. Okay, so at that time I didn't know that it was so serious. I actually went to visit her like 2 months later, and I was shocked to realize that she cannot do 5 activity of daily livings, which means that she actually can claim from the Elder Shield and the supplementary plan which I have got for her. But because I came 2 months later, right, it means that I got to get the doctor to assess her first. And then there is a 90 days deferment period. And then it means that on the 91 day, right, the doctor will come and assess her again. So that will mean it's 5 months later already. So at the 5th month, right, the doctor ascertained that she can do less than 5 as in can do less than 2 ADL. You see, so don't qualify because to claim for the ElderShield, right, you need to be unable to do 3 or more. So I was very upset when, first the doctor say she's not eligible, and of course her claim was being rejected, you see. So I actually went to appeal to the insurance company, and thankfully the insurance company agreed to my appeal, and they paid 9 months of the disability income to her. So this has been a very important learning lesson to me, as in, like, for client who has similar situation going forward, right, I will know what to do. You see, I will quickly find out, are they able to perform the disability? If no, then I will quickly call the doctors to assess her, and then the deferment period will start immediately.
Okay, there are many different types, but I would think to start off, the most basic type of insurance to me will be hospitalization insurance, or in most circumstances, integrated shield plans. Okay, so in this category, I think it's most important because we never know when we have unforeseen hospitalization costs, and medical costs are really already very costly and still rising along the years.
Yeah, especially now, like COVID situation, right? We could also be hospitalized. Yeah, so there are also like critical illnesses plan, which can help clients to cover their daily expenses, like their utility bills, their mortgage bills, their children education, their helpers, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so in the event of, for example, cancer, stroke, and so on, it's not just about the daily usual bills that we pay, but there may be additional costs as well. Things like maybe now I have to hire an additional helper to help me with my daily needs in the event this happens, right? Yeah, so to add on, in the event of disability, is even more permanent, okay, in the event this happens. So having a disability income or long-term care insurance will be useful, because in this circumstance, they pay a monthly benefit for a longer period of time. Yeah.
Okay, and there are also other plans like personal accident plan, which client can claim for like sprain when they exercise, or when they have hand, foot, mouth, or even like food poisoning, which can help to cover some of the costs.
So for different policies, it's different lah. Okay, so first of all, for integrated shield plans, remember to do this thing called e-filing. Okay, e-filing is basically what the hospital can do to directly file the claim to the insurance company. Okay, so this e-filing process is actually very, very crucial. If it's not done, then it could result in further complications or even higher costs after that. Okay, so unfortunately, this is only for Singaporean or Singapore PR. Okay, if the insured is a foreigner, right, then unfortunately we'll need to put in a manual claim lah. Okay, but the manual claim can also be done through a claim form and also medical reports if there's any. Yeah, so typically for integrated shield plans, once the claim reaches the insurance company, it should be settled within 1 to 2 weeks, unless there is any further investigation. Yeah, and one more thing to note is that if there's any pre-hospitalization consultation bill or post-hospitalization follow-up bills, this thing has to be filed in manually. Okay, there's no e-filing for this. Okay, so do keep all your receipts intact. Okay, and file them with the insurer, or if you have an advisor, you can approach the advisor lah. Yeah.
Client who wants to claim for their company insurance, right, we will still encourage them to file their hospitalization plan claims through the hospital first, because this is less confusing and more direct. And then when the insurance company, right, pay them to their personal company insurance, they can use the claim settlement letter to send to their company insurance for the claim. For death claim, right, we will need the family members to file the claim form, and then there's a need for them to submit proof of relationship like marriage cert, birth certificate. And when all the documents are ready, usually the insurance company will take about 2 weeks to settle the claims.
Yes, and it is also good to note that for death claim, right, it helps if the insured had bought from multiple insurance companies, right? Because each insurance company actually can only pay up to a maximum of $150,000, while the rest has to wait for this thing called either the grant of probate or the letter of administration. Yeah. So next, for critical illness claims, what is needed is the traditional claim form, of course, and also the attending physician statement. Yeah, and also any medical reports if there's any lah. Yeah, and in the event all these things are already sent to the insurer, once it reaches the insurer, it should take about 2 weeks to a month, okay, for the claim to be settled unless there is any further investigation.
But do note that for the attending physician statement, right, which we require to send to the hospital for the doctor to write the report, right, the minimum waiting period is actually 60 days. Yeah. Then for long-term care plan, right, we will encourage the client to notify their advisor as soon as they realize that they cannot perform any 2 or 3 of the activity of daily livings. This is so that, you know, the advisor, right, can notify the panel doctor to go and access the patient, which is the client, because there is a 90 days deferment period. So on the 91 day, right, the panel doctor will come and visit the client again to see whether he or she still can perform the daily activity. If they can't, right, then they will start the payout. Yeah.
Yes, and in fact, the panel doctor can come every year to assess whether this person can still continuously claim for this payout lah. Yeah, okay, so next thing is for personal accident insurance. Yeah, personal accident insurance claim, very simple. We will need a claim form, which luckily nowadays some can be online. Okay, and secondly, we will need the original receipts. Yeah, which in this case, for original receipts, we usually advise clients to get the hospital or the clinic to pen down what is the cost of the visit. Yeah, so that it's clear. If it's a flu, then it's not claimable, right? Okay, if it's an accident, then it might be claimable through this. Yeah, and then last but not least, of course, there's also the medical reports if there's any lah. Yeah, so again, if all these things reach the insurer, by right, it should be able to be settled within 1 to 2 weeks lah, unless there is any further investigation. Okay, I would think the first thing is to be honest during your application. Yes, okay, it is very important to make a full declaration unless it's specifically stated by the insurer. Yeah, this is because if there is a lack of declaration, right, it may result in omission of claim, or even the whole policy might be void. Yeah.
And also, I would think that it is important for the client, right, to inform the advisor immediately if they know there's a claim, because there's actually a deadline for all the various different plans that they are going to claim.
Very simple. Okay, basically there is no one company who is good in every financial product, right? So it helps to mix and match all the good products from different insurance companies or different financial product provider lah. Yeah, and over here we focus on looking at clients' objective and recommend things suitable according to their objective. Yeah, so this is how it's beneficial lah.
Yeah, in Financial Alliance, right, we carry a lot of wide range of financial products, insurance plans, and we also do not participate in additional incentive given by the insurance company, so we can give our client an objective view based on their needs.
Okay, it depends on what happened in the experience, okay? So I would think that insurance is really meant to help people in times of need, right? Okay, so if they had a negative claim experience, it could really be due to various reasons. Okay, it could be as simple as the policy that they bought was meant to pay out in a different circumstance. It's not meant to be paid out in that particular circumstance that they're under. Or maybe in that circumstance, it could be claimable, but nobody helped them to do the claim, to put in the claim. Yeah, so many different reasons why people could have negative claim experience lah.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I have a client who was diagnosed with breast cancer a few years ago. So she has no insurance agent. So she actually called the customer service on her own, and the customer service actually told her that she is not eligible for the claim. So 2 years later, when I met her as a referrer, she shared that she is a cancer patient. And then I asked, oh, so you have filed a claim on your policy? She said, oh, it's not claimable. So I helped her submit a claim. and I also write down the reason why it was delayed for like more than 3 years. And the insurance company actually attend to the request and paid out the claims. So I think that actually it's very important to have someone to assist our clients so that they know that whether the claim can be done or cannot be done, and if it's not done, why. So I will urge our client, right, to look for advisor with Financial Alliance.
But for me, it was very nerve-wracking because of a very short deadline. Yeah, so what happened was I had a client who needed surgery on her eyes because she had cataract. Yeah, so she initially consulted with the government hospitals, and the government hospital actually told her that the whole process would take about 6 months because she had to wait 3 months for the surgery on the first eye, then another surgery on the second eye 3 months later, so total 6 months. So when she was telling me, she was concerned with the long recovery period because her vision was already blurred, and also she was worried that she would need to take long leave, right, in the same year. Yeah, so at that time, I reminded her that, hey, actually you have your private hospital insurance that will entitle her to be able to go to the private hospital to seek care. Yeah, so she did, okay, with the help of looking through the panel doctor listing, and then we chose a doctor from there together. Then we found out that, hey, good, okay, so she could schedule 2 surgeries within the same month that it happened. Yeah, so we could settle everything together. Then came the problem. Okay, so there was a process called pre-authorization with the insurance company that needed to be done. This process at that point in time was pretty new. Okay, and it was supposed to be something like a pre-approval before the surgery actually happened. So long story short, the pre-authorization failed. Okay, and it failed really just a few days before the surgery. Okay, so the family got very nervous because they felt like it was an indication that later the claim will fail. Then they will need to fork out the private hospital bill on their own. Yeah, so honestly, I was also nervous myself because I remember that I was the one who remind them that, hey, you can go private hospital.
Yeah, you suggested her to change.
Yeah, I suggested her to change, right? So I was also very nervous and kanchiong, and it was like the first pre-authorization that I did, because it was pretty new at that point in time. So I was very nervous also. So I went to and fro with the insurance company. I was in conversation with the hospital also, asking, hey, do you have any relevant report that can help this? The insurance company, why you reject this? Find out the reason and all that. Just within that few days, trying to get that pre-authorization appealed okay? But at the same time, I also work with the insurance company account manager, okay, and he told me that, hey, actually don't worry, it's not an indication that definitely it will fail, as in the claims would fail, but it's just a pre-approval. Okay, so went back to the family and explained this to them. Luckily, in the end, after the procedure was really done, the surgery was really done, the claim actually succeeded But it was the in-between this period of time that was quite nerve-wracking for me at that point in time.
Wow, well done, Eileen. So actually having a financial advisor actually helps in this kind of situation.
Yeah,
if not, the client won't know what to do.
So Choo Pheck, what do you think is the role of a good financial advisor in the event a claim happens?
I think most important thing is the advisor need to be calm first. Yeah, and then next is there's a lot of things to check, because we need to ensure that the policy is enforced. If not, cannot claim. Yeah, then we also need to advise the client, like whether for hospitalisation plans, we need to advise like which hospital to go, whether to choose panel doctor or non-panel doctor, the various pre and post if they are not panel doctor, and then also the medical report to submit, and the various timeline, like the attending physician statement need minimum 60 days, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, for example, I had a client recently, just about 2 weeks ago. She gave me a call and said that she needed an emergency surgery, hopefully to do it that very night or the next day morning, because it was very painful, right? So we went through the usual, like what you mentioned, check through the policy, check the panel doctor, and then we realized that the doctor she was then consulting is not a panel doctor. Yeah, so on the spot, I told her the difference in the coverage between going to a panel doctor and a non-panel doctor. So after understanding that, we actually looked through the panel doctor listing and found her a good doctor that's through the listing. And luckily, you know, in the end, blessing in disguise in the sense that she could find a panel doctor that could schedule her a surgery that's even earlier than the previous doctor. Yeah, then can solve her problem earlier, right? And also, of course, she ended up with a lower co-payment lah. Yeah, so I would think really the role of a good financial advisor is very important, right?
Yeah, and also I think like you, right, your client always give you very short timeline, so must work under pressure also.
Yeah, very much, yes. Wow, so that was a lot of information that we went through today, right, Choo Pheck?
Yes.
Yeah, so we went through different types of policies there are. We went through different claim processes, different claim experiences, and also the role of a good financial advisor. So to everyone who's looking at this video now, don't worry, you are not alone, especially when it comes to a claim. Of course, it's when something bad is happening. We don't expect you to remember everything that we went through in this video today. Yeah, so just remember that when you're choosing your financial advisor, choose independent!
So, like, share and subscribe for more content. We see you in the next video. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!